I just gotta pull up my recording thing. Doop 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 scoop. Okay. Oh my butt. Oh my butt.
You're recording your butt?
No, I'm icing my butt.
Oh, you still have butt issues? I guess it was only a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually been really bad about icing it. Like, it could probably heal a lot faster if I was doing my due diligence.
Do.
My doo for the bum bum.
If you're listening to this, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I don't know if we... Do you think any moms listen? No.
Sure. Yeah.
You think some moms listen?
There's gotta be a couple.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
like
good job.
two.
Good job, weird moms. Did the podcast get you anything for Mother's Day?
No.
Fuck you, podcast. Yeah. So we got my folks a sound bar for their TV, you know? Like a joint Mother's and Father's Day present, but we gave it to them today for Mother's Day. And of course, one of my siblings had the idea. I'm like, I got this, because I'm like the movie watching guy. I have a good setup at my house, you know? So I go over there, and I have it all ready to go, but they have an Amazon Fire Stick thing plugged into the back of their TV. And it's like slightly too big to allow me to plug in an HDMI cord in the slot that it needs to go in to make it so the sound bar and the TV can be controlled with one remote, which is that's what old people want, you know? They don't want two remotes. They don't want three.
Sorry, I don't know what a sound bar is.
A speaker. That's a bar. You've seen them. They're just like a long black bar you set like in front of your TV or under it or whatever.
Oh, my dumb head was like, so it's like a speaker, but then like it's a bar cart.
A speaker that can make martinis?
It's like,
no,
you
it's literally
can set
just
your drinks and shit on it. I'm such an idiot.
You know what? Can I tell you? That's a really fucking terrible idea because you're introducing the idea of liquids not next to or near, but literally on a speaker? I'm ashamed of you. Anyways, it's a bar that makes sound. Okay, so I'm trying to plug it in, and in order to plug in the eARC HDMI cord, which will go from the soundbar into the TV so that you can control it all with one remote, which is what old people need, I couldn't do that because that HDMI port was next to the one they have this Fire Stick thing plugged into, and the Fire Stick is just slightly too big to allow to plug that thing in. And then, of course, I was trying to get different cords and stuff like that, and I'm so fucking sick of the cord thing. And my dad and I were talking, and like I just had this realization. I'm like, you know what? Every billionaire has his own fucking cord, and I'm sick of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes people come out with universal things but I don't know if it would work for that. I didn't even know what the hell it was.
But it's just so dumb. And it's like every company is starting to have their own fucking specially built electronics and stuff like that so that you have to have all the same brand.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
And you used to DJ. I bet there was a cord problems with that stuff, right? You had a lot of cords going on.
For the most part, when I DJ'd, if I brought certain cords with me, I always brought the same cords because they generally fit with everything. It wasn't until kind of technology started to change and become more computerized, then my cords kind of became obsolete. So that happens too, that corporations make shit to the point where like what you had and what worked for a long time doesn't work anymore.
It's so annoying when they just change for no reason. Or like when a website will change the layout of like your email or your social media or something. It's like, oh, now this button's over here, and it's like there's no reason to it. If everything still looked like the Space Jam website, it'd be fine. You know what I mean? The Space Jam website. Remember that? Do you know about that?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so you know the movie Space Jam, right? From the 90s.
Yes.
Michael Jordan meets Bugs Bunny. Okay. So they had an official website, but it was made back then, right? So it was like very primitive internet, like, you know, a website that was made in 1996. But like, it was still there for like decades.
Is it still there? Can you type it in?
Let's see, spacejam.com. Oh, it is still the same thing.
It is?
Yeah, wow. Copyright 1996. You gotta look. It's great. Cool links and hijinks. Click above to find out more about our sponsors and the various hip sites that make WB Online the jammin' place that it is. Anyways,
Wow.
are you looking? Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Oh, click on sitemap. That is some old school shit there.
Holy moly.
Like Angel Fire.
1996 site. Continue.
But my point is, if everything still looked like this, it'd be okay. I'd be okay with it.
I would be absolutely fucking fine with this.
There's like...
I would even be fine with the fucking dial-up sound, like, to be honest.
Well, you know what, though? We wouldn't be able to do this. Because it wouldn't have enough bandwidth for us to do this at all.
Well, we'd find...
What we do? Record our phone calls?
Yeah, why not?
on just a little tape recorder. Hi, Shandy. Okay, hit record right now. We should try that sometime. Going retro. Yeah. Oh,
I love this.
Well, welcome to Earnful of Popcorn. This is a freeform horror movie discussion podcast, showcast, website thing.
It's a thing.
My name is Mike Mulligan, the steam shovel. What?
The steam shovel?
Oh, Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel? No, I'm the happy man and his dump truck. Do you remember that book?
No.
It's like a children's book. It's really good.
I have no idea what you're talking about today.
Oh, it's so good. The happy man and his dump truck. It's like a picture book. It's a little golden book, you know, for kids. And we had it when I was a kid. And someone gave it to my daughter when she was born. And it's this happy man driving around a dump truck. And he starts to pick up all these animals that need a ride, like a pig and a rooster and a cow and stuff. And then they find out that when he hits the dump and the back of the dump truck tips, they get to slide down. They have a good time.
Aw, that sounds so cute.
Yeah, he would make a good tattoo, the happy man in his dump truck. I could see someone getting a cool... Like, if I ever meet a girl with a happy man in his dump truck tattoo, that's probably it for me, you know? Like, there she is. I'll be like, I finally found you. But look him up. I mean, that would be a dope tattoo, the cover of that book.
So you need to get that, and then you need to get Twin Peaks tattoo, and then you're all set.
Wait a minute. What if it's one tattoo?
Whoa.
You have Agent Cooper be the happy man in his dump truck. And everyone in the back is like different characters. You know, you could have the arm. You could have Mike. You could have Bob. You could have...
the log.
The log, yeah, the log, possibly the log lady, but just the log would be funny. Or you just have the back be full of donuts, because he loved donuts so much.
Wow.
Oh, there's a really good picture of one of the pages here of the pig trying to get into the back of the dump truck. And he's too fat. It's really good. I have no fucking clue how we got here. Oh, I said that was my name. I was talking about the steam shovel because there's another famous kids book, Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel.
I don't know these. Aw.
Well, you know what? I realized after I brought it up, I'm like, oh, you didn't have the best childhood. You probably don't know these classic children's books. What about The Little Engine That Could? Do you know that one?
I know that one. I mean...
You know that one? Okay.
Most of my childhood was spent in the library, because when we would get in trouble and grounded, we had to go to the library and we had to pick a nonfiction book and write a report.
For your parents?
For my dad. That was our punishment. Yeah. So I didn't read a lot of, like, kids' books.
Wow. So you're reading nonfiction.
Yeah. I left my phone downstairs. Now that I have a downstairs. I didn't have a downstairs before. By the way, I have moved.
Yeah, she moved, so if you need to stalk her, let me know. I'll get you the new address.
Oh my god.
I'll just give him like my ex's address or something. Don't worry about
Oh my
it.
god, that's
That'd be
even
so
worse.
mean.
That's so terrible.
That'd be so mean.
God.
Have we figured out something worse than revenge porn? It's revenge setting your stalkers on people.
Nightly news: Timmy Williams' ex
Oops.
has been strangled.
Oh
Jesus
God.
God.
Play Misty for me. Have you seen that movie?
Which one?
Play Misty for me. It's like
No.
oh my God. It's great. I think you would like it. It's definitely in your wheelhouse. It's Clint Eastwood's first movie that he directed. And he's a radio DJ, and he gets a fan who happens to be a hot lady that he kind of gets in a relationship with, but she's also like a crazy psychopath stalker.
Whoa.
And, some murders start to happen. And what's really interesting is that the hot psychopath is played by Jessica Walters, who many years later got very famous as the mom from Arrested Development and Archer.
Oh, hell yeah. That does sound up my alley.
Yeah, it's really good. Anyways, stalkers, and I can't remember what we were talking about before that. But anyways,
I left my phone downstairs when I was watching this movie that we're going to talk about. Because I am very bad if I have my phone near me while I'm watching a movie. I will go look at it and I'll go, oh, maybe I'll just check something real quick. And I'll get back to it. And I don't want to do that anymore. If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching a damn movie.
Yeah. It sucks that we get it. They've done a good job. Again, these goddamn corporations, these corporations. I'm not editing that out. That's going in. Anyways, they do such a good job of making this shit urgent when it's not. Like, none of it is urgent. You don't need to have that fucking thing. Yet my phone is sitting right next to me right now. You know what I mean? Like,
you have a good reason. You have a human that you're caring for.
I have this in case my daughter has a text and be like, Dad, you're too loud. My friends can hear you swearing about movies, But also, it's an excuse. I can still take care of her without that if we're in the same room, in the same house, so.
And just get 2 tin cans with a string and hand her one end.
Yeah.
But the string is so long, like it goes throughout the whole house.
Yeah.
Like you just yell into it. Oh, do you have walkie-talkies?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Over. We should record the podcast that way. Yeah, I really like this movie. I thought it was scary. Over. That would be even more annoying to listen to than our podcast probably already is, right?
Oh man, that would be fucking insane. I would forget to hit the fucking button.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Hit it off and be talking, and you're like, I didn't hear anything you just said.
Yeah, it would be a lot of dead air because I'd be doing the same thing.
Oh man.
Talk about stuff like that. So many years ago, when my daughter was like 4 or 5, and she was sick, really sick with something I forget. And, I gave her a little bell to ring. Aww. But she was so little and so weak that, like, when she did it, it was just, like, very faint, like, ding, ding, ding. I'm like, oh, God, I'm coming. But when you are a parent, you have very specific super hearing, Like, I could hear her, like, breathe weird, like, a mile away, So, oh, God. Because it's amplified by anxiety, right? So I'm always convinced she's going to die. So it's like anything that goes wrong is like, go, so anyway, so it's sort of a superpower and also a torture. You know what? Like we do, I think I've almost successfully segued into this movie by talking about that. Because what is the big inciting event of this movie?
Shitty kids?
A child dies.
I like where my brain goes. I'm like, the children are
Shitty
evil?
Kids. Yeah, children are horrible. But yeah, I mean that too. But no, I was just talking about like being afraid of, because that's one of the worst things you can think of.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have kids, I'm sure you understand that, like, if you are a parent and your child dies before you, there are a few things as awful as that, Really,
really, really devastating. A lot of like marriages don't continue when the child passes away because it's just too much. It's too much to bear. It's just too much.
It makes sense. And that's one of the many kind of brilliant ways they get the mystery going. In the movie Prom Night, there we go, from 1980. And, I forgot to write down who directed it. Did you write that down?
No.
Probably. No. Did you watch the credits and stuff?
No.
I don't think I did either. So I hope there's not an after credits scene. Okay, directed by Paul Lynch. And who did, if I may say so, a damn fine job directing this movie.
Fuck yeah.
Very
Holy
well
shit.
directed.
That and the cinematography was fucking... Mwah.
Yeah. Oh, and
Chef's
you
kiss.
said, and I agree, you said you really liked the editing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wrote that down a lot where I go, ooh, like that. That was really good.
Well, I'm glad that you at least understand what editing is, because a lot of people, like, you'll see this complaint online all the time, be like, that movie was too long, the editor sucks. It's like, that is not what that is.
That's not how that works.
No.
No.
The editor's job is to take the pieces of film, at least back in Prom Night days, and put it together. And you're talking about rhythm, you're talking about pacing and everything. And sometimes, like, when you're watching a movie that's poorly edited, you can tell, like, if a certain scene feels like it's sitting there a second after the scene should be over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or you just go, that doesn't make sense. Like, why is this happening right now? Like, why didn't they just, like, leave this out?
Yeah. Well, and so that sometimes will be the director, though.
Yeah.
Because the editor doesn't decide what's in the movie, it decides how it all fits together, And I think, but like, I would be interested to see in Prom Night, for example, if some of these scenes with the really great editing that made us both say it has really great editing, there's probably some of it in the script, but like, in the beginning, or towards the beginning, when the killer starts calling all these high school kids, and, it's these kids that were involved in the death of a child when they were children, every time one of them answers the phone and the killer says their name, it does a quick flash back to an image of them as a child. And it really kind of sets you up as a viewer, like, oh, okay, now I know who that is.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of moments like that, too, where I just would double, triple blink a couple times because I wasn't expecting it, where it would be a quick shot of the telephone cord up close to the screen, and then it would shoot to the lieutenant and his kid, and then it would shoot back. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, it was really cool. And the way the whole movie was shot is very kind of, it had a good energy and style to it. The camera felt like it moved a lot and found interesting angles a lot.
Yeah, a lot of interesting angles.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think maybe I was surprised by it because Prom Night itself is, I don't know the whole story about the production, how they decided to make it, but I think it seems pretty obvious that someone was like, I want that Halloween money, And there's a few other movies. Carrie is obviously also a huge influence here, but
yeah, I wrote down Black Christmas because of the
Black Christmas, the
telephone calls. In my brain, one of the movies that we've done, I can't remember the stinking name of it, and I forgot to look it up before this, but because I put the movie poster up, it just says Chainsaw Devil.
Oh, Pieces.
So now I always think of that movie. I think that movie's called Chainsaw Devil now, from now on, for some reason. So it reminded me of that too.
Of Pieces?
Yeah, because of like the creepy groundskeeper janitor dude with the chainsaw.
But I tell you what, though, Pieces was made after this movie.
So it's the other way around.
Yeah. Shortly after, only a couple years. But yeah. No, Prom Night, it's an early slasher. And I mean, even calling it a slasher, it doesn't even feel accurate because there's not a lot of slashing in it. The slashing that happens is good slashings. But it's also kind of a high school drama, and it's just a very kind of slow burn. And this is your first time watching it.
This was my first time, and man, those fucking kids are evil as fuck. Holy shit. I was going to ask you, did you ever play a game like the one that they're playing, which I guess you would call it killer victim game.
Yeah, kill or kill. I don't know. No. But I tell you what, I did watch this with my 13-year-old daughter, which was great. And I feel like I have different points of view and insights from watching a movie like this with a teenager. But the first thing I asked her, I was like, are kids really this mean and awful? She's like, oh, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. You know, and maybe they're not, in real life, maybe when kids are mean, it's not as pointed as, and, obvious as like, kill her, kill, kill her, kill, and then you're crowding this poor girl till she falls out of a window and dies. Which is what happens at the beginning of this. But yes, children are awful like that to each other, kind of at random, you know?
Oh, God, just the chanting towards her. And I went, oh my God, she's going to fall out of that fucking window. And they're going to say, oh, it was an accident. But I didn't think the really shitty kid, Wendy, was going to go, you can't tell anybody. We're not going to say anything. We're just going to leave. We're not even going to check to see if she's still fucking breathing.
Right. We're just going to leave.
Oh my God.
Well, and then they leave and the rest of the window falls, presumably cutting her up more. Well, they show her body after they did that. So,
man, and it's like you kids knew what you were fucking doing because she didn't just like back up into a window. She climbed up backwards on top of the windowsill on the inside. I was watching it going, this is not what I thought this movie was about at all. But it's a good setup for what happens later.
For what does happen, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty classic slasher setup. So many are about something that happened a while back, and now we're, because my daughter and I would watch all the Scream movies, and that's what those are,
Yeah.
They start, the very first one is because of something that happened a long time ago. Also, Pieces had shots of the killer doing something, and you just see his hands. In this one, the killer has a phone, but in Pieces, you see him putting together the puzzle.
Yeah. I still want that damn puzzle.
I know, it'd be awesome. But, actually, one company did make it, but it sold out very quickly. But yeah, right? Isn't there's scenes very similar where you just see the black hands doing something?
Yeah. Yeah. Or you just see the feet. I was like, he's not wearing loafers, man. He's just wearing a black boot.
Oh, no. This is another episode that's got to be rated L.
I did laugh out loud to myself. I went, those ain't, where's my damn loafers?
Yeah.
Jesus.
We should watch the Scream movies for this sometime, because, me and my daughter just watch all of them. They do a lot of shots of their feet, of the killer's feet.
I will say in this one, though, there were so many moments, too, where it's like, is this the killer? Is that the killer? Oh, no. Now you have a new piece of information. You go, oh, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's... Yeah, it happened to me a lot. My first thought was, shout out to Mr. Leslie Nielsen, who is so adorable in this movie.
Yes.
I thought it was him.
Yeah, and that's a good choice. I mean, we see these kids playing some weird game in an abandoned building, and like we said, they bully this one girl kind of, and she falls out a window and dies. It turns out to be, it's his daughter, and he's the principal of the high school. And so when it cuts to 6 years later, and the kids who were involved and have hidden it all this time, they start getting phone calls from some masked evil person. It would make a lot of sense to be Leslie Nielsen. And there's another angle they really push pretty hard in this as far as red herrings go, which is since the kids, back when it happened, said that the little girl's death was an accident, that they weren't involved, well, then they decided that some psycho guy killed her.
Oh,
some
Leonard.
on-the-books sex offender. Mm-hmm. And then they chased him down, and he got burned very badly, but lived and was in a mental institution. And so 6 years later, he's escaped, and he's stolen a car, and he killed a nurse, and maybe it's going to be him. And I mean, what movie is that?
Isn't that Halloween, basically?
That is exactly Halloween. And there's even the doctor. The inspector guy is talking to the doctor. He's like, I was his doctor. He's evil, So it's very Halloween. And I don't know if they, like I said, they probably were chasing that Halloween money, but also I feel like they set that up as a distraction, as a red herring.
It threw me off a little bit when that started happening. I went, really? We kind of don't need that, because it could be one, it could be any of the kids.
Yeah.
That is like, at first I thought maybe it's Nick, like the boy that Jamie Lee Curtis's character Kim was dating, because he was trying to tell her, I know what happened. Like, I know exactly, and trying to tell her. And I was like, maybe he turned on the other kids and he's kind of fighting for her and he's going to kill all of them. And then I thought maybe it was Kim.
Yeah, sure.
So
Because Kim, who's Jamie Lee Curtis's character, her little sister was the one that died.
Mm-hmm. I really didn't think it was her brother at all, Alex.
The one clue they give you as to who it really is also ties into something that's a little bit, unfortunately, of its time. That I don't think you would do anymore. But anyways, but yeah, they do a good job because they really make it feel like it could be any of these people. Like any of the characters you meet, it could be any of them.
Yeah, there were just good little moments that were thrown in there, especially towards the end where Kim and Alex's mom goes, "Where's my lipstick?" Mm-hmm. I swore I left it on the dresser. Now that's when I went, "Oh, it's Dad. It's probably Dad. He's probably going to use it for some weird ass thing."
Right. But yeah, that's the only thing you get. And you don't even know it's a clue until later, although, you can maybe put one and two together, or one and one together, whatever the phrase is.
Mm-hmm. Then you have the creepy handyman who keeps staring at Kim.
Yeah, another great red herring, because it's like, this is my third or fourth time watching it, but I never thought it was him, because they lay it on so thick right away. They're like, Mr. Sykes, and you see him, and he's got like weird slick back hair and these weird nerdy taped together glasses, and he's like, ugh, and it's like, there's no fucking way it's this guy. If they would, it would have been kind of amazing to have it be him, but it's like, again, in pieces, like you said, the groundskeeper there, the big guy, they go out of their way to make him so evil too, so it's like, well, it's probably not this guy, but even the police officer, the detective, that's just what I really like, is it really could be anybody. And most of the time, you don't really cross someone off the suspect list in this movie until they die.
Yep.
And like I said, it's a slow burn, so it takes a while before anybody starts dying. But by the time people are getting murdered, all the characters are at the high school. So it could be anybody.
They did your thing that you like. They had the song with the name in it of the movie.
Yes.
Prom night. Everything is all right. Is that how it goes?
I don't know. My daughter noticed that too. She's like, "Hey, Dad, they're doing the thing. You mean with the end credit song, right?" Yeah, it was the end credit song. It was like prom night. Yeah.
Everything all right.
And that's one thing we really need to talk about. Is this movie was made in 1980. It came out in 1980. It was kind of produced in 1979, which is glaringly obvious the whole time. That it was made in 1979, right? I mean, wow. It's so disco.
Did you like the men's clothes?
No. And yet the women looked amazing. Like I always say, yeah. Although, so the shitty girl, Wendy, who back when the little girl died, who's the one like, let's not tell anybody. Well, of course, you flash into high school and she is the hot blonde who's a total bitch to everybody.
She is I wrote that down. Wendy is still a bitch.
Yeah.
And she's still terrorizing the sister of the fucking girl she killed. Also, I just want to point this out. All of those people that were involved in the death of her sister, that basically killed her sister, are all fucking friends with her.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How evil of a person are you?
Yeah, to know it. Yeah, I mean, because they all know.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's very weird. It's because she ended up being pretty, because she's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Because she's
like, well,
hot,
I'll be a friend anyways.
Hot as fuck. Holy shit.
Yeah, super hot.
Whoa.
There's an image they used to promote this movie, and it's very easy to figure out why. But there's a scene earlier in the movie where Jamie Lee Curtis's character Kim and one of these aforementioned people who knows that they were involved in her sister's death and don't tell her. But anyway, so she's with one of her friends and they hear some noise. So they go outside like before putting the rest of their clothes on, which is a little crazy, right? Mm-hmm. But so Jamie Lee Curtis has jeans and a dress shirt on. The dress shirt's open. You can see her bra and she kind of leans out and it's like, holy guacamole. Does she look great, right? I mean, that's, oh boy, right?
Oh boy. I wrote down that her boobs saved me in that moment. Because that scene was scary. That was one of the scariest scenes to me when the mirror crashed.
Yeah.
And then, but that wasn't what scared me. What scared me is that they went outside to investigate to see who had left, not realizing that when they turned, like, that person was still in the room with them. Mm-hmm. Because when they went back in, there was a piece of the fucking mirror missing. That shit freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah. And it's a great shot, too, just showing the one piece is gone. Oh, man.
Pieces.
Oh, God. But yeah, you know, so I'm not sure the chronology of Hollywood's obsession with Jamie Lee Curtis's boobs, but I think it started here. Because, like, she's not really made out to be a sex symbol at all in Halloween. Mm-mm. And in The Fog, she's kind of a sexy character, but I think that's right after this. And I'm not sure where Terror Train falls, but those are all very early movies. As soon as Halloween was a hit, everybody grabbed Jamie Lee Curtis and put her in another horror movie, like boom, 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 you know? But I feel like this is the first time someone's like, oh, she's got like a great rack.
Oh, man.
So let's use it. But then you think about her career, she's made very good use of it throughout her career, right? I mean, True Lies.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Dude, that movie's responsible for some puberty, tell you what.
Oh, I felt very uncomfortable watching that with my parents.
And she's like 40. She's like our age in that movie, I think.
Yeah, that's so crazy to think of. I mean, what the fuck?
And no offense to either one of us, but we wouldn't look that good doing a strip dance in our 40s right now, right? So, holy shit.
Holy shit.
She has everything in the right place still. Okay, so she was like 37 when she made True Lies. Still, good job. Hachi and Machi.
And she still got the moves, too. She's got the moves in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, my God. Yeah, the dancing, when they get to the prom, and she's the prom queen, she's dancing with the prom king. So when they did all the dancing at the end of this movie, because the last half an hour, 40 minutes or so is during the prom, so it's a lot of dancing and stuff, and it's silly disco dancing. But yeah, the moves, there's some pretty great stuff they do.
Yeah, she does like a backwards flip.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. Also, and I think we talked about this. You didn't go to prom?
Negative.
Okay. I went to my junior and senior, but I don't recall there being a dance of the king and queen of prom before getting the crowns.
Right. I don't know if that is a thing. It almost feels like another movie that was big at the time. They wanted to get that in there too, Saturday Night Fever.
Oh.
You know, so let's have the two people dance. But the dance moves. What's great about the dance between her and the actor who plays her boyfriend Nick. What's great about that scene is there's a lot of great dance moves, and then there will be a great dance move, and then there will be 20 ridiculous dance moves that are not cool but just look really dorky, and then they'll have another great one. Because like he does that thing, they do some cool flippy stuff, and then he does that one where he just like sticks his arms out to the side and then pushes them back a bunch of times. Do you remember that one? You know which one I mean?
Yeah, he looked a little awkward. Maybe he wasn't comfortable, and because he was like, she's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just did look a little bit awkward.
Yeah, he kept up okay, but the actor Casey Stevens is also, I don't know, did you do any research about the actors in this?
No, I didn't, no.
Okay, this gets pretty interesting. Okay, so Casey Stevens, who plays Nick as an adult, and it's, her boyfriend, and he's breaking up with Wendy, who's the really shitty blonde girl. So years later, when they were making the DVD and stuff, they had a problem tracking down this actor, Casey Stevens. And it turned out he had died from AIDS in the 80s, like not long after
Oh,
this.
no.
Yeah, so it's pretty terrible. And what I find, I mean, obviously that's very sad. But also what I find sad is, like, I like him in this movie. I thought he was a good actor.
He was really good in this, and oh man, he must not. So was he gay?
I don't know. I probably should have read a little bit more about it before I just blurted it out. But yeah, isn't that awful?
Because I just say that because there's a horrible fucking scene in the movie where the lieutenant talks about that guy Leonard being a fruitcake and like fuck fruitcakes and like bashing homosexuals, and that like homosexuals are pedophile. That fucking bullshit narrative.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and then there's the the transphobic thing with the lipstick later on too.
Yep.
Because when you find out where the lipstick has been, the guy has it on, and really, it seems like the only reason he has it on is because they're like, oh, he must have been crazy. He was wearing lipstick.
Ugh. Blech.
You know, so it's too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you know, it was 1979. Okay, whatever. But also, like, there's not really ever an excuse for being shitty. You know, like you could, because there was, even when you say, well, it's very of its time. Okay, but also like there was always good people who were down with gay people and trans people, whatever. So it's like, well, you know, it's not really a great excuse. But anyways, yeah. So kind of a tragic story there, but their dancing is very good. And so, you know, that's Jamie Lee Curtis, and then this guy Casey Stevens playing Nick and Kim. Okay, so one of the other main characters, like we talked about, is Wendy, the shitty blonde kind of most popular girl, and she was dating Nick, and he broke up with her because who wouldn't? And you know, and she's like, you know, she has this whole plan to like get him back or something, and it's very psychotic and gross. And there's two things about her. First of all, I was asking my daughter a few times about this when we were watching it. So, you asked me about the clothing in the 70s in this movie. Yeah, okay. It's not quite as bad as, like, the guy's pants in, like, Chainsaw. But Wendy's prom dress. What was different about her prom dress versus everybody else's prom dress? Did you pick up on that?
What was different? I mean, I wrote something down about it. I don't think it's what you're going to mention, so I'm kind of curious to hear what you're going to say.
Cleavage.
Boo. Bitch.
Yeah, but like way low cut. I mean, for a prom dress, I thought, you know, and I was talking to my daughter, I'm like, do you think that'd still be okay? Do you think it'd be okay now? She's like, I don't know. I said, yeah, because like obviously women should get to wear what they want. But like when you're talking about high school dance, they do have some rules and stuff, you know, to, I don't know, keep things kind of under control a little bit. But like, because dude, I mean, if that lady walked into my prom wearing that dress, I mean, I wasn't there, but I assume it would be crazy. You know? And it is in this one. They talk about like the other girls are in the bathroom right after Wendy gets there being like, geez, you know, she's kind of trying to fuck everybody just wearing that dress, you know? So, I don't know. But I just thought it was like, whoa, because she walks in, you know, she ends up going to the prom with this horrible bully named Lou, and we'll talk more about him. But Lou's outfit is he's got like a tux jacket and shirt on, but no, a tux jacket and like a white t-shirt on under it. And he's got a tie, just a bow tie, a fake bow tie, tied around his neck, and he's wearing jeans. And then he walks in with Wendy, and I wrote down, Lou's suit is 10-10, and it goes well with Captain Cleavage. Because it's like, boom. And none of the other girls have dresses like that, you know?
She was not the quintessential kind of, I mean, she was a bitch, but like, she didn't drink. She didn't smoke. None of the things that I kind of expected from a villain.
Right.
Because when Lou picks her up to go to prom, he's got a whole bottle of fucking Jack Daniels and is swigging it. And he's like, here. And she's like, no, thank you. And he just like goes off on some weird rant. But he goes really quick at the end. He goes, but you look fucking great.
Yeah, no. He says, anyway, you look terrific.
Oh, yeah. You look terrific.
So I told my daughter, I'm like, it's so funny that he's like this fucking caveman and he's just shitty. And he brings his friends with him to pick her up for prom. And they're drinking and stuff. But then he still says something nice and polite and not shitty or sexist at the very end. He's like, anyways, you look terrific. Like, that's a nice compliment. You know, there's nothing weird about that, right?
I know, like, we're not hooking up, but you look great.
Yeah, you look terrific. You know, that's nice. That's a nice thing to say. So the actress that plays Wendy is named Anne-Marie Martin. And I kept thinking, like, have I seen her in other stuff? And I don't think I have because she wasn't in much. But she ended up writing a few films. And she co-wrote the movie Twister in the mid-90s.
Oh,
you know, the tornado movie? You know that one?
Yeah, wow.
So, do you know why, though? Because she was married to the other writer, Michael Crichton.
What?
Yeah, so she was married to Michael Crichton. So no wonder she didn't do a lot of acting, because she was in that fucking Jurassic Park money, bitch. Right? I mean, even before it was a movie, Jurassic Park was a huge hit as a book. So, like, fuck.
Wow.
She probably didn't need to work.
Wow, that's a fun fact.
Right. So I guess we know why you dress like that. Hey, kids, you wear a cleavage dress to prom, you end up marrying a billionaire novelist. I don't know. We should look at what Stephen King's wife wore to prom. Tabitha, what'd you wear to prom? Actually, I think they were already together. Anyways. I just thought that was fascinating that she was married to Michael Crichton.
Wow. Huh.
And, like, you know, she's a fox, but he was, like, a good-looking guy, too. So it's not like he was just some creepo, but, you know. But she's I thought she's a pretty good villain in this, and it's clearly very inspired by what's-her-name from Carrie, you know.
Oh, yeah, and the whole scheming with Lou, I kept thinking, oh, is this going to be a Carrie ripoff thing, or is it going to be something else? Especially when Kim's dress is pink, which is more of an innocence type of feeling. And then Wendy comes out in a fucking red dress, which is emotes emotions of like the devil or like covered in blood. That's
or
what it
horny.
made me think of. Or yeah, horny.
Like sexuality, you know, like, hey, you know.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. You know, and there was probably, I bet there was some thought put into that stuff, because it does, there was a little bit of a kind of artfulness to this movie, a little, you know, a lot of slasher movies were just kind of like, here's some kids, they're hot and they get killed, okay, bye. But this one kind of seemed to have a little more to it, you know?
I really think whoever was dealing with costumes put some thought into this, and the only reason I say that is because there's a scene at the school with Lou, because he keeps fucking bothering Kim in school, and like just being fucking, Lou is being lewd and crude towards Kim in the movie.
You're right.
And her
Lou's a crude, rude dude. Anyways.
And her little brother Alex tries to defend her, and they get in like a big fight, and he's wearing a baklava, which I thought was really fucking weird. So he brought that shit to school just to be even more of a creep. Fucking weird. But then towards the end, the killer in the school is wearing a baklava.
Balaclava.
But
Sorry, it's a balaclava.
Balaclava. Baklava.
Baklava is a delicious Eastern European
I
dessert. No, it's just
So
because like
a delicious European dessert.
it is. You've had baklava, right?
I have
What?
I can't say it. Why can't I say it?
I don't care. I just think it's funny. But have you had baklava?
Yeah, and it's really good.
It's so good. Yeah, and so okay, what's balaclava is the mask.
That'd be funny.
But it doesn't.
You couldn't say
Look,
it again.
Well, it's fine. You just keep going, and if you say baklava again, I'll just get a little more hungry. It's okay.
So, the killer is wearing one later on in the school, but his was sparkly, which I thought was an interesting choice because it made it more feminine, and the way that they were dressed and kind of their moves seemed a little bit more feminine. So I went, is it a guy? Is it a girl? So the costume choices I thought were really interesting in this.
That's a good point that they do that. And so maybe that's the lipstick thing, is like, where'd my lipstick go, to make you think it was a girl that's the killer. So yeah. It's then none of that excuses the fact, like, okay, why'd you still have him wearing it at the end? But but yeah, but Lou is just, and Lou, they do like, I don't think that actor the guy that played Lou, David something, I don't think he actually has a unibrow. I think they gave him one.
Yeah, I think so too. Just to make him look bushy and creepy.
Yeah, David Mucci. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has one. He was in Half Baked. All right, weird. Yeah, but yeah, it just makes him look so much. I mean, he looks like a troglodyte. He looks like a fucking caveman.
He really does, and he just is just gross.
Yeah, I mean, the first time you see him, the very first time you see him in the shot, the first shot is like, oh got it. Yuck. Like, you right away are like, this guy fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And he's got the hairy chest, and he's got his shirt open, and he's smoking in high school. And, like, there's a lot of smoking weirdly in weird places. Like, because the cop during the prom is smoking in the high school, too, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's supposed to, I would think he's supposed to be a chaperone, but he's not even fucking paying attention to any of the kids.
No, he's waiting.
For a phone call.
He's waiting to find out what happens with the psychopath. And then when they, it turns out that it's not the psychopath. So eventually someone calls him and they're like, hey, yeah, we caught him over here. He's not in town. He's not killing those people. Okay. Well, now I can go enjoy the prom. And it's like, enjoy the prom? When the prom starts, they show the detective there. And there's a shot, like, right after they show him where they're, like, zoomed in on this, like, hot girl's butt. And it's just some random person. It's not one of the characters. And I was like, is that supposed to be like the detectives checking her out?
I thought that too. And I went, what a fucking creep. There's two teachers that are chaperones. There's the lady and then the guy. I think the guy is her husband, maybe?
Yeah, the bald guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the students is fucking flirting with him?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And the teacher comes over like, the woman, his wife, presumably comes over like, well, she says the same thing you said, basically. She's like, what the fuck, guys?
What the fuck are you doing?
And I like them, though, and yeah, they're funny little characters, though. Okay, let's talk about another one of my favorite characters in this. Okay, so Jude is one of the girls that saw the murder happen, but she also... she's, of course, like we said, one of Kim's friends when they're in high school. And Jude seems like pretty cool. And she's walking down the street to go to school. And this Chevy van pulls up. And I don't know if you know this, Shandy. Chevy vans in the 70s were like a cool car to have.
Yeah,
there's even a song.
There was two cool cars in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Wendy has a badass Corvette. And it's bright orange, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
I want it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So the Chevy van thing, like, there's even a song. It's like, making love in my Chevy van. So it was a thing. And this Chevy van pulls up, and there's this guy inside who's like this kind of chubby guy with glasses and poofy black hair. And he's like, I'm slick. I fucking love Slick.
Slick is the shit.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, so then he like kind of picks Jude up. He's like, hey, can I give you a ride? Yeah. And like, you want to go prom with me? Yeah. And like, they end up having a great time at prom, and they like, they leave the building and they go have sex in his car and smoke pot and stuff, but in the van, because that's why you had a Chevy van, is to bang girls in it. So anyways, but the thing is like, their relationship is never creepy. Mm-mm. It seems 100% consensual. Mm-hmm. And they seem to genuinely like each other.
Yeah.
Like they're giving each other shit and stuff,
She's like getting all giddy when she's talking about him. Yeah, I agree. It does seem like they have a great relationship.
Yeah. And she's like pretty hot and he's a fucking dork. And so it's just kind of cool. And when they go to the dance to meet Kim and Nick, Jamie Lee Curtis and her boyfriend, or wants to be boyfriend, whatever, prom king and queen, they go to meet him, and Slick, whose name is Seymour, so Jude's like, this is Seymour, my date, and Seymour takes Kim's hand and like kisses it. So then Slick takes Nick's hand and says, I'm Slick, and Nick goes, I can see that. I fucking love it.
So is he slick because he can get hot chicks?
I think so.
Because he's got that van and he's got a van and he's got a book full of fucking spliffs.
Dude, so many joints. Crazy amount of joints. That's a lot of drugs. I said that. I'm watching it with my daughter and he opens the book. I'm like, that's a lot of drugs.
There's like 100 joints in there.
Dude, it's crazy. And he and Jude have just banged out in the van. Good job, Slick. And they're smoking drugs or whatever. And they mention they want to have another joint or something. He picks up this history book. She's like, what? And he opens it up and it's, of course, hollowed out. And yeah, there's like 100 J's in there. It's crazy.
I wonder if they were laughing when they put those on. They're like, let's just put in a ridiculous amount.
And then they go try to make love on the bluffs, and he loses his glasses. And then they, but and we're talking about this all out order, but I don't think it matters because it's not a very confusing movie,
No.
It's kind of like they go to prom, this person starts killing them, and then they get caught. But yeah, he and the girlfriend are fucking on the bluff, and then they go back into the van, and they're gonna do it in there instead. And then the killer shows up and kills Jude, and Slick fights with him for a while, but Slick doesn't have his glasses. He starts to drive and doesn't know what's going on because he can't see shit.
That scene was crazy when the killer was hanging on the end, and then I'm like, oh shit, he's coming in.
Yeah, it's like an action stunt scene.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was cool. And then when the thing goes over the cliff, it like explodes.
Yeah,
it's like I said, an action movie.
Yeah.
Their death is sad just because in a short amount of time they make this couple feel genuine and heartwarming. There's nothing bad about it. Unless you think high school kids shouldn't fuck, but then you're a fucking nerd.
I just felt that it was bad that he was collateral damage in a sense. Yeah. But then it also made me think when you said, oh, maybe it's the cop, is because, well, I went, oh no, they're going to go over the bluffs. Like, oh no. But then it reminded, oh my God. Hold on one second. We got to pause for a sec. Oh my God. Okay. My cat pooped so bad. It smells so... He's the old one and he doesn't cover it. And the litter boxes are in my room.
I gotta grab my medication that I forgot anyways, so it's okay.
Oh my God.
You gotta go clean the litter box, is that what you said?
I just gotta go cover his poop.
Okay.
Oh my God,
I'll be right back.
Smells so bad.
Wow.
Big man.
Okay.
Oh. Holy
Perfect.
shit.
How are you doing so far?
Bud. Oh. That is awful. Holy fucking mackerel. That is gnarly, bud. I'm back. I went and peed too.
Oh, good idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just from your reaction and your description, I could smell it.
I wouldn't have been able to concentrate if I didn't try to eradicate it a little bit.
Dude, if my lizard pooped in here, I wouldn't be able to do it either. It'd be crazy.
Holy shit.
Not to be too controversial or have a hot take, but poop smells bad.
I'm smelling a piece of tape right now. It's like that stinky.
You put tape on your nose?
Yeah, I'm smelling it.
Whoa.
Like the Scotch magic tape.
I get it. That's interesting. It makes sense, I suppose. It does smell,
It smells better than that. Whew.
Yeah. What wouldn't, apparently? You know what I really like is when they, as the movie goes on, you kind of following different characters throughout the day. And, like we said, you got Nick maybe going to tell Kim that he knows what happened to his sister, but then he doesn't. You got the different characters getting ready. You got Wendy and Lou planning something. You got the cop trying to figure out where the psycho is. You see Sykes, the janitor, being weird a few times. You're just wondering what the fuck's going on. And then when prom starts, you aren't even quite aware that prom has started yet, but it just cuts to this series of shots of different parts of the high school. All quiet, right? Mm-hmm. And empty. Mm-hmm. And then the music comes in, you realize that prom's happening. And what I think, all the rooms they kind of show there are parts of the high school that end up being murder scenes. Or at least where they run around in when they're getting murdered,
I actually thought of it as kind of throwing back to the beginning when they were playing the killer game of it's another abandoned building and they were showing all the different rooms. But that makes sense. That makes more sense to me now.
It could be both. Why not both,
Do you think, too, when they were showing the different scenes in the high school, were they trying to be prominent that doors were locked?
Yeah, they definitely showed you that.
Okay.
They show that some of the doors are locked. And they do that for things, right? For proms and stuff. They lock some of the doors and stuff to kind of control the flow of the kids so they can't just be in and out all over the place getting into trouble.
That's why it made me think maybe it's the principal. Maybe it's her dad that did it.
Yeah.
Or the janitor guy, because who's got access to the locks and the keys?
Right. And it's one of those things, too, where it's like I said, when they show the janitor, he's so, like, obviously creepy looking right away. It's like, man, it couldn't possibly be him, could it? But you never know. And then you see that he's drinking. the janitor guy. So it's like, okay, well, he might not have his wits about him then, sure. But then, like, towards the end, when the killer has killed some people, then Kim's like, where's Dad? I don't know. Like, now her dad's disappeared.
Yeah. And I went, shit, it is Dad. I know.
Right. But does he ever come back, though?
I never saw Dad again.
Right.
And then the janitor guy tries to warn everybody there's a killer loose, but they just brush him off like, oh, he's just drunk and just saying dumb drunk shit.
Get out of here.
Time for you to go home, you old drunk.
Yeah, and so they don't listen to him, and somebody's going around killing everybody. And he kills Jude and Slick. He kills Wendy.
Her chase scene was really cool.
Yeah. And there's, a total of 4 kids he needs to kill, right? So he kills...
What's the shy girl's name?
Kelly.
Kelly. She's really pretty.
Yeah. So Kelly, and it's a tragic thing that happens to Kelly, because Kelly's the one, when they were little kids, that they show her, like, she's not really into lying, and she's, she doesn't like what happened. Mm-mm. She still agrees to keep it a secret, but... and then Kelly's a virgin, and her boyfriend, Drew, keeps pressuring her to hook up. And so during the prom, they go into this locker room, and she starts taking her clothes off and stuff, and then she gets nervous and doesn't want to do it. And, Shandy, how did you feel about her boyfriend's reaction?
What a fucking dick. I was like, she said no once. Why are we still going? She said no again, and now you're fucking pissed? When he said... if you won't do it, I'm sure I can find someone that will. I think he says something like that. I was like, what a fucking douche. And then he throws the fucking corsage back into the room. Yeah. Asshole.
What the fuck?
Devastating. And I went, oh no, is she about to get murdered? And like, this is what she experiences right before she gets murdered? Oh my God, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, poor girl. And then, she gets her ass killed pretty good, right in the throat with a piece of glass. That's actually the first murder we see. I mean, we see the little girl die in the beginning. We see the dead body of a nurse that presumably that psycho guy killed when he escaped. But then nobody dies for like an hour, and maybe even longer. And then Kelly, gets it, and it's just too bad. And you feel very bad for this girl. Her boyfriend, Drew, should have gotten killed. He just gets away scot-free. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, why didn't he become collateral damage? I actually thought, like, there was going to be something that was going to, like, pierce through the both of them or some cool-ass shit.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
But, I mean, if you think about it, this killer, though, has some special circumstances. So maybe he was like, oh, yeah, you deserve to have this shitty moment happen to you before I fucking slit your throat.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because, like, I felt bad for her, but I also didn't at the same time.
Right, because she was still an accomplice to this thing.
An accomplice and, like, befriended her sister.
Yeah. You know, until you brought that up, I didn't even think about that. That is fucked up.
It's fucked up, man. So you kind of deserve that shit. Yeah. I mean, women don't deserve to be treated that way at all. But just in that moment, like, I started to feel bad for her, and then I remembered that, and I went, I actually don't feel that bad for you.
Yeah.
Because you're shitty.
Yeah, it sucks. And then he goes and, like, they show him, like, meet some girl. After that. It's like, fuck you, man.
Scumbag.
Yeah. Fucking, ugh. Anyways, Drew is played by Jeffrey Wincott. Jeffrey Wincott went on to do a bunch of martial arts films. Like 90s martial arts films. He's like white guy karate. He was in Martial Law, Mission of Justice, a bunch of stuff like that. I don't even know if I've seen any of those movies. But here's an interesting thing that ties into Shandy's life. So Jeff Wincott's brother is the actor Michael Wincott, who is the main villain in The Crow.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not, and I love it.
Yeah. Uh, that's a weird family. You got this fucking cheesy white guy karate, and then you have Michael Wincott, who's just naturally fucking creepy.
Yeah, but man, you looked up some good facts for this one. Kudos to Timmy.
Well, it's just the cast is so weird. The cast is very weird and interesting here. And obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis was already a big deal because right before this, she made Halloween. Right? So then, like I said, they made her, she was in a bunch of horror movies. So then you got Leslie Nielsen, and you probably know his whole career trajectory, right? That he was like in serious movies for like 20, 30 years. Mm-hmm. And then right after this, he booked Airplane and became a comedy icon. And he's way more well known for that than for any of his serious roles.
So what did you think about his dance moves at prom?
He dances a little bit, right? And he doesn't really dance too much, right? He moves his arms around a little bit.
Oh, such a dad dancing, like so kind of awkward. Like, I'm dancing with my daughter at senior prom, and I'm the principal. Awkward. Here's my dad dance.
And, you know, in that scene, and almost every scene she's in, this is one of those movies where it's like Jamie Lee Curtis is so clearly heads above the rest as far as like acting skill and charisma.
Yeah.
She's just a fucking movie star.
She shines in every fucking scene that she's
Totally.
in.
Totally. It's like watching Leprechaun featuring Jennifer Aniston and a bunch of other people. You know what I mean? Like, Jennifer Aniston is like immediately like, okay, that's why she's famous. Mm-hmm. You know, she just got it, I guess is what you call it. But what I love about Jamie Lee Curtis playing teenagers and this and Halloween and some other stuff is she's so natural and so like, she just seems very realistic the way she's kind of goofy all the time.
Yeah, with her brother when she's like getting ready for prom. The banter between her and her brother, I love that you said that it felt natural. And I even had that thought a few times while watching this. I went, I don't feel like she's acting. I feel like she's just like, this is her brother.
Yeah. And
it was really cool.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's almost like she's elevating the other people, you know? Just from, And I brought it up at this point because I also thought that during the scene with her dad dancing and she's making fun of him like Disco Daddy or whatever she says. And it just comes off as so realistic and just kind of like, she just like, she played like a dork. You know, she's kind of dorky in this. She's definitely dorky in Halloween. Mm-hmm. And I think that cleavage moment in this movie is kind of like when that changed for her, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, wait, this girl is fucking hot. So now she's going to play hot, people, you know.
I mean, and she had clothes on. Like, she had on a shirt, but it was just her, and a bra, but, like, you just saw, like, a good...
Right. It's a good cleavage. Are you having an issue right now?
I'm actually touching the part of my boob that you see. I'm thinking about it. Because I'm trying to think of, like, what part of this... I guess, it's cleavage. Your decolletage. What do you call
Decolletage.
it? Decolletage.
We talked about that last week for some fucking reason. I don't remember why. But, whatever it is, it looks real good.
It's mad sex appeal without showing too much.
Yeah, it's just very, sexy is a good word for it. And I think after that, people were like, oh, because I mean, that image of her leaning over with the bra, whatever, is like, that's in all their promotional materials. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's like, hey, fellas. Hey, guess what else this movie has? Oh, yeah.
I feel like at the same time, though, showing that was probably a bunch of dudes like were expecting to see more of her, and then were probably disappointed.
Possibly, yeah. Because, you know, there's not really nudity in this except that one scene, and it's with that girl, Kelly, when she decides not to have sex and her boyfriend storms off, like, she's topless. There's not really any other nudity, and I said that last night. There's not really nudity besides that scene, and my daughter goes, well, there's that butt. Because earlier in the movie, when the girls are at tennis practice, one of Jamie Lee Curtis's friends, like, moons the creepy groundskeeper.
Yep.
and shows him her butt.
There's a lot of butt shots in this movie because there was like the butt shot of like the girls at the diner, the waitresses. Man, they were hot. I want to go to that fucking place. Holy
Dude,
shit.
Okay. So when Wendy decides to come up with some scheme with Lou, and basically what they're going to do is before Kim and Nick are going to be, officially marched out at the end of the night as prom king and queen, their whole scheme is to like replace Nick with Lou. And I think maybe Wendy was going to replace Kim, possibly.
I think so.
But she ends up getting murdered, so she can't be there because she's murdered. But, Nick won't go to the prom with her because he likes this girl, and he won't take Wendy back, and she doesn't fucking get it because she's like, I got this cleavage dress. Why won't you take me back? But, so she decides to, like, make this evil plan with Lou. And so she, like, hangs out with him, and she takes him to this diner in her sweet orange Corvette. And yeah, he's like, I don't really have any money. She's like, I'm paying. It's like, oh, I have a couple burgers, some fries. And the waitresses, like you said, like what? Because that's okay. You see the one waitress wearing very skimpy clothing, little pink shorts, right? And like a little blue top that's barely on, right?
Well, the shot is like on her ass when it gets to that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's on her fucking butt, and then it pulls away, and you see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hot.
Yeah.
That's my point.
It's a great point, because you're right. They show this hot lady, and she's the waitress. She's on roller skates, right? And it's like, well, why is this waitress wearing little pink shorts and this skimpy blue shirt? You can see everything. Wow. She gets to wear that to work? And then you notice, like, oh, all the waitresses are wearing this. This is their uniform. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the fuck is this restaurant? Was this like an early restaurant?
Restaurant.
Yeah, like Hooters or Twin Peaks.
Did you have those growing up where you could like just drive your car up and go to the Sonic?
Yeah, we had an A&W root beer one here, yep.
Oh, the A&W root beer ones.
Yeah, so cool. I don't think it was like Babes, though. I think it was like People's Moms. Which might have been Babes, but it's like they weren't. I mean, they were wearing like a regular amount of clothing.
I've only been to one place that had girls on roller skates, but they weren't wearing skimpy clothes. They had on just like regular shorts and a t-shirt.
Right.
But I feel like in a lot of movies when they have that, the chicks are dressed like it's a Hooters bar.
Right.
But I've never experienced it in real life.
Neither have I. And you know what? It's fine because it's fun to watch. But no, I mean, yeah, they're hot. That's cool. Whatever. But I was even like, sometimes I'm like, am I too open with my teenage daughter? But maybe it's like I've always been kind of parenting differently than most people, so maybe it's fine. Because I was talking to her about Wendy's like a low-cut prom dress, and I was just like, it just seems like a weird thing that you'd be allowed to wear that dress at prom. And, I said, and I know that women should be able to wear what they want. And me as a dude who likes girls seeing this, I'm like, yeah, she's super hot. But I'm like, it just seems weird that she's wearing it to prom. Because I don't even know if a girl wore that to prom now, if it would be okay. Because it's pretty boobtastic.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about both proms I went to. Nothing ever seemed salacious like that. Everybody seemed pretty covered up to an extent. I mean, my dress didn't have any arms. Mm-hmm. It just like covered, it was like strapless, but then it was like really big. Like you couldn't even see my legs.
Oh, wow.
Like I looked like a quinceañera dress is kind of like what one of my prom dresses looked like.
Oh.
So yeah.
What color was your... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What color was my prom dress? Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
It was baby blue.
Okay.
My junior prom, it was like velvety purple.
Oh, cool.
And I didn't wear shoes in our prom picture. And our prom picture was like all of our friends. We did like a group photo. And for some reason, I don't know why I wasn't wearing my shoes. I can't even remember now. And then the guy that was my prom date is the guy that took my virginity. So watching like this movie, I was like, yeah, this does happen at prom. This is when kids lose their virginity.
You lost it at prom.
I didn't lose it at...
or right after prom.
So I tried to actually lose it at the after party at my junior prom, so it would have been his senior prom. But no one had a condom. And so I said no. And then, but that's the guy that took my virginity like a year later when I was like a senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't at prom, but it was.
No.
You didn't have some like sneaking off to the locker room moment. Or
no.
You didn't like bone in his van.
No. Which was like, that was a perfect time for this killer to like choose to do this because nobody's going to question where people are at prom.
Right.
They're just going to think what you just said. They're off doing it.
Doing the nasty.
They're doing the They're losing their virginity.
Kelly says, I think I'll let Drew do it. And Jamie Lee Curtis is like, let him do it. I love that she's like always been kind of a stand-up brassy broad about that stuff, even in movies when she was a teenager. She's like, what do you mean let him do it? And the other girl says it's like getting a shot, right?
Sure.
Yeah, what? Unless it's like a weird little dick. I don't know.
Unless she meant that like it's over fast.
Oh,
like it's over
maybe.
quick.
Well, and I suppose your first time it hurts a little bit too with the hymen and all that, right?
Yeah.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what she meant.
Yeah.
What? Just weird to think about that or what?
Well, just weird to compare it to getting a shot like in the arm. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, because I have heard it referred to as the hot beef injection, but that's a little different.
It was like, oh, so it's like getting a shot, but like in my coochie?
Hooch, gooch, hooch, gooch, gooch.
I don't want your hot beef injection in my coochie.
Gooch, goochie. You said coochie a couple episodes ago, and I meant to do the Hoochie Coochie song, which you invented a while back, but I forgot. But now I'm glad I got to it. Let's talk about euphemisms for sex, because my friends Hans and Casey, who are from Watertown and lived with me in New York for a while, there was this girl I kind of had a crush on, a fellow comedian, and who's unfortunately no longer with us. She died about 10 years ago. It was very sad. But anyways, so we were drinking at our apartment, and we were kind of drunk, and I was talking about, like, yeah, I really like her. I don't know what to do about it. And Hans goes, what you got to do is you got to give her the curvy interview.
What?
And I was like, the curvy interview? You got to give her the curvy interview in her tight resume.
What?
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. It's right up there. You know what I mean?
So silly.
I like it when it's I like it when it's totally muted because I know you're laughing too hard and Discord is muting you. Dude,
that's a good one.
He quit drinking years ago because he needed to, but man, he was very good at coming up with insane phrases when he was drunk. Because one time we got out of the train and we had been at a bar, and he goes the other direction. We're like, where are you going? He goes, I'm going on a hot journey. Like, a hot journey? And he like went to the bodega and got a sandwich. I was like, that's okay.
I like how his brain works.
Dude, right? Beautiful. You got to give her the curvy interview in her tight resume. The thing is, like any good euphemism, like you get it right away.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sure. He means penis and vagina. Man. I lost my virginity when I was 20, and I didn't even have a bed. We were just laying on a blanket in my apartment that I just moved into.
Oh, mine was in a tent.
Oh, were you camping?
No, it was like senior party, like after they graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was like a big bonfire. People were doing keg stands.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there were tents. I guess they were camping, but I didn't spend the night.
Hey,
I just knew I was going to lose my virginity that night.
you guys were planning it?
No.
No?
I'll never forget. I was going to the party. I looked up at the full moon and I said to my head, I'm losing my virginity tonight. And then I took some acid
Whoa.
And I drank a bunch of beer. And then I went up to the guy I went to prom with and was like, I want to do it with you. And he tried to talk me out of it. And like now I think about it, I'm like, I think I pressured him into taking my virginity.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. And then he was like, all right. And we went to the tent. I don't remember feeling anything because I was really high.
Well, right, and drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't know if you liked it or not.
It didn't. It wasn't quick. It lasted like 5-10 minutes.
Good job, guy.
I just remember my best friend at the time coming over to the tent when he walked out of the tent, and she was like, did it happen? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, how was it? I was like, I'm so high right now. I didn't feel a thing. I just had wanted to get it over with was my thing.
That makes sense.
Because sex scared me because I have 2 older sisters that had sex and their consequence was children happened. And they were very young.
Okay.
I have a sister that's like 8 years older than me, and she had a kid when she was like 15, 16. So like when I talk about my niece on here, she's only 6 years younger than me.
Ashley?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I'm 43, y'all.
So she's 37. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's what happens when you have sex. No, thank you. Because it scared me to be a parent at that young of an age.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
You know?
Dude, it'd be fucking crazy.
Right?
I mean, I had a kid for what would be considered late out in the Midwest. I was 30. Her mother was 31. When my mom had me, she was 23. You know?
My mom was 32 when she had me, but she had 3 kids before that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So.
When I lost my virginity, the next day I told my friend Robin, who was dating my roommate at the time, and she was there, right? So I told her, like, I lost my virginity last night. And she goes, I know. And I was like, oh, fuck.
No.
I guess I didn't really think about making noise. What happened? You know? Oops.
Oops, Daisy.
Or maybe she could just tell, I don't know, that it was going to happen, you know, when we were going home or whatever. I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah. But, oops. Sorry.
Yeah. That was an interesting time. Anyways, I had long hair then. I was still skinny, and I had long hair then. And the girl took my flower, smoked Capris, those thin, long cigarettes, you know?
Yeah.
And I lit one up one time, and it set my hair on fire.
Oh, no.
Because my long hair was hanging right in front of the cigarette. It was like 2 or 3 strands, but it went up like a TNT fuse, like, you know? So I was like, whoa! Wow. And I think it was like right after we boned for the first time. And I was like, oh, wow, there's a lot going on in my life. I just got my dick wet and I set my hair on fire. Can that be my headstone?
You just gave, the curvy interview in her tight wrist.
Yeah, I gave her the curvy interview. Right in the tight resume.
Seriously, the best thing I've ever heard.
It's so good. We should send Hans some money.
Oh,
Not that we
God.
make money from this, but Hans, you deserve some money.
Oh, man.
As far as I know, he's still a yoga teacher in Queens.
Why does that make it even funnier?
Yeah, well, it's not even over yet, bud. So his wife is in like a ska band. Or she was. She was like, you know, she's like this cool, hot, blonde, like punk singer, right?
Oh my
and they have
God.
like 2 wonderful children. And last time I saw him was right when I bought this house. He gave me a housewarming gift. It was like a weird sword in a scabbard. And the sword was curvy.
What?
Anyways. We used to get drunk in bed on old episodes of Guts, Nickelodeon Guts.
Oh, wow.
Guts. You remember when we were talking about a movie? But this is all. First of all, that was a good conversation, but also, it stems from this kind of stuff, right?
It's relevant.
Yeah, and it's this time of year. I mean, your whole idea was to talk about high school movies right now because prom just happened in most places, or is happening now, and graduation's coming up. So it's relevant. Yeah.
It's relevant, and also people don't know this about me and you.
What?
But what were we?
We were prom king and queen when we were in our mid-20s.
Yeah, and we have a picture. We'll share it.
Mm-hmm. It's a great picture.
It's so good.
It's really good. Well, first of all, I assume what you were wearing with us, you looked cool. Because, like, when you were a kid, I'm sure you looked cool, too. But, like, now we're in our 20s, we knew how to look cool, right? Because we both look really fucking cool.
Were we both wearing Chucks?
I
sure.
Because we're fucking cool.
I think you were wearing your green ones?
Yeah, I had several. Probably had the green ones on. I got to find that picture. It's a great picture. And you're hugging me like I'm the girl, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's like, well, because you're taller than me. And so it's like you were a big spoon. But it was good. And you had this blue polka dot dress on. Mm-hmm. And I had, I think, a pink dress shirt. And I either had my Star Wars tie or this really crazy-ass tie that my friend Amber gave me that was like a wide 70s tie, because 70s clothes for men are ugly. And it had blue panda bears on it. Mm-hmm. Was that the tie? Do you remember?
I think that's the tie. I have the picture somewhere.
But yeah, so we were prom king queen, and I don't remember what else happened at that, because I probably got drunk too. Did we do karaoke at that place? It was a different place. It was at an old school.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I don't remember at all.
We used to party hard, kids. And Shandy and I have barely kept our lives together enough that we can still party, so it doesn't help, Yeah, but good times.
That's what gave me the idea of doing like a prom kind of school theme for this month. But I just came across it and was like, oh, we should totally use that. That'd be perfect. Yeah. Like if we did, especially if we did prom night, since I'd never seen it.
And you were correct.
Yeah.
It was a good theme. We're going to do another high school movie next time about a different aspect of high school, a more modern aspect of high school. We're going to watch Unfriended. But, I mean, we're not even done talking about this, but we're just kind of all over the place. But that's fine. This movie doesn't need a lot of focus, but which is good because we don't have any. But, you know what I liked about this, too? It's a slow burn for sure, but I never felt bored.
No, not at all, because they just kept throwing stuff in there where it made me think it was someone else. And then all the characters were really, really strong, too. Mm-hmm. And then they just kept like doing really cool things. Like I know earlier we were talking about how I like the editing. Mm-hmm. And we were just talking about Kelly, and like when she dies and there's like the shot of like her laying over with her throat slit. The next shot is like inside the punch bowl at prom, and it's like a red punch bowl, so it was like blood, and I went, that's fucking dope.
That's right. That was very cool.
Yeah.
There's another good blood fake out. Not far from that time. It's when Wendy is getting chased. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to hide. And there's a dripping sound. And you see this red dripping on the floor. And I'm like, wait, when did she get cut or something? She's bleeding. But no, she was like over by the auto shop class. And so there's like a bucket of red paint for cars or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's dripping. And that's how the killer finds her.
Man, this was a moment I yelled at the movie out loud.
Oh no, what'd you yell?
I went, don't hide in the car. He's going to look right inside the car, and he's got a fucking axe. Like, you're not safe in there.
Yeah.
But then I went, well, then where the hell would I hide? I wouldn't hide under the car. Like, where else is she supposed to fucking go?
I love that aspect in horror movies when people are like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It's like, how do you fucking know?
Yeah, you don't know.
Because you haven't been chased by some fucking guy in a mask with an axe when you got your tits out in a prom dress,
And your adrenaline.
I keep mentioning her boobs, and I'm sorry, but they're great. Anyways,
and your adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah.
Like, you have to think fast. And, like, every fucking door is locked. Like, what the fuck else is she supposed to do?
Yeah. It's easy to say when you're sitting at home eating Cheetos, writing a Letterboxd review. I just assume everyone else eats Cheetos when they do that too. But you don't really know what you'd be like in that instance. It's like after Columbine happened, and people, I'm sure you had it too. Like dudes in high school be like, "Oh, if I was there, I would have fucking stopped him." It's like, yeah, bullshit. There's a story that Jackie Chan was supposedly supposed to be shooting something at the World Trade Center when 9/11 happened. Now that, I believe, he could have stopped something. I'm fucking Jackie Chan, right? Mm-hmm. Do a bicycle kick through the cockpit window and kill all the terrorists. Somehow, I don't know. But most of the time, yeah.
Or they would have recognized him and been like, oh shit, Jackie Chan, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to die, so we'd never see another Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what they didn't know was that he wasn't going to make any more good ones, but, way off track. Anyways, so it's prom night. Everybody's dying. Oh, yeah, we were talking about, like, what would you do if getting chased? And, she goes and hides in the car because it's like, she's freaking out. You gotta get somewhere, go there. What? I don't think your mind's going to go much further than that when you're that, fight or flight kind of panic kind of mode,
Mm. Do you know what was awesome too about this prom is that it had a theme, and I loved the theme that it was called.
Disco Madness.
Yeah. How fucking fitting. Above the door it said, "Welcome to Disco Madness." I was like, that's fucking right.
But disco wasn't even really dead yet, was it?
No, not in 80. Oh no.
Well, 79. I only know this because Margaret's mother was born on what they call the day disco died, which was in 79 when they actually had a bonfire in Chicago at one of the baseball stadiums of disco albums. So, it kind of depends on whether you count that as official or not. July 12, 1979, a riot in a ballpark in Chicago changed the history of popular music. Known as Disco Demolition Night, the event originated as a promotional gimmick for the Chicago White Sox baseball team. What the fuck?
That's weird.
This movie was shot around the same time. So disco was still alive when they made this, Mm-hmm. Yeah, they started shooting it the month after, August 13th, 1979. That's funny. So
wow.
They're probably like, fuck you, disco's not dead. Disco bandits! So it's weird that they had a disco theme when it's like, well, wouldn't that be the music they'd have anyways? So, I don't know.
Do you think you'll be a chaperone at Margaret's prom?
I'm going to teach her not to dance or go to things. I'm kidding. Yes, absolutely. Okay, 100%. Cool. I feel like it'd be fun to be a chaperone.
Heck yeah.
What do you think?
I'd have so much fun being a chaperone if I was a teacher or if I was a parent.
Yeah. I chaperoned one of her zoo trips, when she was in 4th grade or something.
Were you in charge of something specific? I remember my mom or dad being a chaperone, and we had to bring the snacks, or it wasn't just watching the kids. It was they also had to bring something. Did you have to bring something?
No. This is a zoo field trip, so my job was to make sure the boys behaved.
Ah, okay.
Fucking shitty job.
I gotcha. Did they behave?
Probably a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I did okay.
That was a cool thing in this movie, too, was when people were, leaving their photos.
Yeah.
For them to find. They were like, what does this mean? We're getting obscene phone calls. And Kelly goes, why is this happening? And I went, you know why this is happening. Don't act like you don't know.
Yeah, fucker. It's happening because you let that girl die. Kill her! Kill! Kill her! Kill! Good God.
Kill her. Kill. Kill her. Kill. Oh my God. Christ. It was so fucking creepy. I don't want to play that game.
Good job.
Fuck that game. Also, we did play a game kind of similar, but we chose what horror movie character we were. It was hide and go seek. So the person that's having to look for you would be I'm Jason or I'm Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. And if we tag you, you're dead. So I guess we did play a game similar to it, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah, they take it a little too far. And a person dies. So I'm going to say they took it too far.
Yeah. We were just ha ha ha, Jason killed me.
Hey, LOL. Yeah, and then be done. But yeah, that's but but the thing is, like I said, when we watched that, I immediately asked my daughter, like, do you think kids are this mean? She said yes, like without even hesitating.
Yeah, nothing's changed, unfortunately. Kids are still fucking awful because they're still awful parents.
Yeah, well, that's never gonna go away. Unless everybody sells me their child. Everybody, sell me your child. I'll raise them. Fuck it. I'm almost done with this one. I only got a couple years left. Sell me your kids.
Done with it.
Oh, she's doing great. I've done a good job so far, right? She's a good kid. So, I'm just kidding because I know I'm fully aware that the challenge has not even begun yet.
Info at earnfulofpopcorn.com. Please submit your child.
Hey, you like horror movies? Oh, that's cool. You want to sell me your daughter?
When you do that voice,
Is it bad?
it hurts something inside of me.
Did you have an experience with someone like that? Like,
No, it just, I hate it so much because it's so good.
I have something I need you to look at.
You know what it reminds me of? It just
What?
clicked. Hey, Chuck, got your daughter.
Oh my God, from Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I love that voice because my favorite part of Beetlejuice is when he's trying to get Lydia to say his name. And she turns and sees the bug, and what does the bug say? The bug looks at her and goes, "Hi, how are you?" I fucking love it. Hi, how are you? Dude, that is one of the genius character creations of all time. But yeah, we're definitely roundabout way all over the place with this movie. But
that's okay because
the point is it's good. And the point is, I mean, let's talk about how it ends because we've been talking about how he's been running around killing everybody. So he's killed everybody else, but he still has to kill Nick.
Yeah.
And this is all great. I love this. So, stupid caveman bully Lou, like I said earlier, he and Wendy show up to prom. Lou is wearing a suit jacket, like a tux jacket, ripped jeans, a white t-shirt under the tux jacket, and then just like one of those fake pre-tied bow ties just around his neck, like does not touch the clothes, like he's a Chippendale. And as we mentioned, he has his friends with him in the car. So Wendy gets in the car expecting a normal prom date situation, and he's got these fucking dudes with him. He's like, "My friends want to ride." And they walk in with him, and they're both wearing tuxedo t-shirts. But, like, they're kind of ripped up, and one of them has, like, a deep V-neck on his tuxedo t-shirt, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. So dumb. It's funny to have a high school villain in a movie, and he's got henchmen, right?
Yeah.
Like a Batman villain? They even have a uniform, the stupid tux shirt, but it's you, Tuxedo Man! Oh no! And so then they got this whole plan with Wendy. They're gonna fuck with Nick and Kim right when they get announced as prom king and queen. But of course, at some point in there, Wendy goes and gets killed. So they're like, well, I guess we'll just do it without her. So they go back there, and one of his goons kidnaps Nick. They put tape over his mouth, and then Lou comes and slaps him, which knocks him out. And then one of them's about to grab Kim, but they don't, right?
No,
because the evil prom night murderer is back there, and they see Nick standing with the crown, and then they go hide somewhere. After they knock Nick out, one of Lou's goons takes Nick's prom crown off and puts it on Lou. So then the prom night killer sneaks around and sees, oh, there's the person with the crown.
I immediately went, oh no, their fucking prank is gonna backfire. Holy shit, they're gonna think that's Nick. This was so good what happens.
Yeah, and so then the killer sees the crown on the head, is like, oh good, here's the person I want to kill. And chops the head clean off with a big axe.
Yeah.
And it's Lou's head, oops. And Lou's head rolls right down. It's beautiful. It's still got the crown on. And it like rolls right down the prom runway thing.
Your king has arrived.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he chopped his fucking head off. But then his axe hit some fucking wire and shot the killer, and he went like flying backwards. That actually made me laugh.
Yeah, and it like makes the music all crazy, and it fucks up the lights and stuff.
And the teacher goes, don't panic. And I went,
Yeah.
Are you serious? If I see a fucking head rolling, I'm panicking.
Right. And that teacher, right before he says don't panic, what does he do? He panics.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, God. It's like, well, hold on, buddy. You can't just do that. You know, you can't say people don't panic and then whatever.
Holy shit.
But yeah, and then, you know, so Kim being fucking Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's great at, like, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is a great horror heroine because she always has some agency to her. Mm-hmm. So she sees this as happening, and does she run off? No, she's like, I gotta save my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. You know, good for you. So she goes and fucking rescues Nick. And, of course, that gives the killer enough time to revive. And at this point, doesn't she start thinking that it's her dad?
So Nick's trying to protect Kim, and vice versa, and they're all kind of scrapping together with the killer. She looks into their eyes, and the look on her face is like, oh, fuck, she recognizes them. Mm-hmm. So is it her dad? I went, isn't her brother DJing? Like, where the fuck has he been? Like, is it her little brother? Oh, shit. Because almost a look on her face was like, no, please, no, don't let this be. Because she hit him in the fucking head with, like, the back of the axe. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh,
and she's really worried about him. Yeah. And, they get out, and the cops are showing up, and the killer is kind of staggering behind them. And, yeah, that's when another great round of editing comes up, because it edits from the killer's face behind the delicious dessert, the balaclava. And it goes from him to the flashback, and it's showing the little girl dying on the ground. And from that, the memories keep going back and forth. But every time it goes back to the little girl dying on the ground, it, like, pans up a little bit to feet, and it ends up to be the little feet of this little boy, Alex. Because Alex was the killer.
I went, oh no, he saw all of that.
It broke him.
Yeah, it totally broke him. One to a point where he thought he couldn't say anything because are they going to believe him? Mm-hmm. And then just like seeing your sister like date one of them and then them befriending her, like, can you imagine just being like, I know what they did, but like, look how fucking smug they are.
Yeah.
Look at their smug little fuck faces.
Yeah, and to hold that for 6 years.
Yeah, like, oh, I felt so bad for him, and he was just like, I know what they did.
Yeah, and he has lipstick on, which is like, you know, it's similar to, you know, I don't know, there's, you know, okay, Sleepaway Camp has a whole thing at the end, too, where it's like, oh, this trans person is crazy, and now it's like this kid's got rouge and lipstick on, and there's no reason, at least in Sleepaway Camp, there's a backstory. In this, the guy had lipstick on for no reason, other than I assume they're trying to indicate that he's lost his mind.
Well, my thought was actually that he put it on as, like, remembrance for, like, his sister. He's being her to get revenge.
That could be it.
That's what I thought. And then the movie just kind of like fucking ended. Like, I just went, oh my God. And now she like killed her fucking little brother on top of that. Oh my God. The trauma this girl's going to have.
Yeah. You know, that would be an interesting one to do a legacy sequel to. Like, what happened to you after this? Are you fucked up? But they probably just make her like a cool badass like they did for Halloween. But I don't know. Oh, anyways, obviously I'm not seriously suggesting they do that. If anyone's listening, please don't do that. Please, I beg you. Real quick on the Scream similarities too. Ghostface's cloak is always kind of glittery too, like the mask in this movie.
Oh, that's right.
Like I think there's a lot tying it there, you know. Wow. Although they've not had a screen that takes place at a prom.
No, they have not. Interesting.
Yeah, which I don't know. I mean, they're making the 7th one, so who knows? But
if they did a crossover of like Prom Night and Scream, like
right, Prom Night v Scream, Bloodlines.
Where like Jamie Lee's like now her kids are at this prom.
Shit, man, it'd be her fucking grandkids.
Her grandkids are. Sorry, her grandkids are. At
Maybe, right? I mean. Oh, old is she? She's probably about my parents' age.
Or like she's the principal now of the school.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Interesting.
Her hair even looks like Leslie Nielsen's hair now. So
Yeah. Excuse me, is the director of this movie still alive or the writer of this movie still alive? We need to find out what happened to his character.
Yeah, dude. He just fucking
Please tell us.
disappeared. Yeah, I wonder.
Did they lose him?
I wonder if there's some supplemental information about, like, where did he go? Is there a follow-up, like, is there a web comic?
I'm thinking maybe they lost him, like, because he had to go shoot something else.
Yeah, probably. Well, that'll do it for Fall of Popcorn this this week. Goodbye. And next we're going to watch Unfriended, which is much newer.
Excited.
Which I think will freak people out. Like, oh, they're watching a movie that I was alive when it was made. Crazy. Yeah, Unfriended from 2014. And we haven't watched a movie like this before. Have we watched a found footage movie yet?
Mm-hmm. No, Roy.
Oh, no, Roy. Yeah. Okay.
But I bet this is a totally different wavelength, yeah?
Yeah, and it's what you call screen life is another term for this, because it's like the whole thing you're seeing a Zoom talk or Facebook Messenger talk or something. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's gonna be different. But Shandy, throw out the social things, please.
Hey, y'all. If you want to follow us on Instagram, I think that's the only place that we're at. We don't do Facebook or X or Twitter. We just do boob. Instagram. So it's at Earnful of Popcorn. That's URNFULLA Popcorn. Visit our website, earnfulofpopcorn.com. You can listen to episodes there. Check out, see what's coming up next month. There's movie posters. You can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Pods, and our YouTube channel, Earnful of Popcorn Podcast. Check it out.
Whoa, good job.
Did I do it? Did I hit them all?
I think you did it. And thank you to Jordan Cooper, who made our theme song. Thank you to Cantadian Steve Ward from Cantadia. It's a different country, trust me. He did our graphic for Earnful of Popcorn. Those assholes from Fistful of Popcorn and Shandy made their logo, which, by the way, that was a big betrayal. But but yeah, thank you. And Shandy, thank you.
And thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis and your boobs for their service. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We salute you.
Thanks, Timmy.
I'm giving you 3 salutes right now, Jamie Lee. And dick joke.